What's up guys, welcome back to K.D.P programming. And in the last video we spoke about ternary operators. I showed you guys how to use a ternary operator, and in today's video I actually thought I'd just show you guys how to use a nested ternary operator, because it is possible that you can nest a ternary operator within another ternary operator, just like an if statement. Like I said, a ternary operator, it's nothing but an inline if statement. In this video I'm not gonna go through any theory regarding the ternary operator, so I recommend that before watching this video you go and watch the first video and you get a fully understanding of that. So I'll put the link to that video in the description box below, or you can click the pop-up in the screen. So I'll try and keep this one as short as possible, so let's not waste any time and get straight into this. In the last video I showed you guys how to use a ternary operator, so I'm just gonna go through a quick recap to show you what we did. So like I said, a ternary operator, it's nothing but an inline if statement. So let's say maybe you had something like you wrote a test and then you got your result back, and then you have a variable of let's say mark. Let's say maybe you got like 75, and you're trying to determine if 75 it's a pass or fail, and we know that the pass mark is set at 60. So what you do is you actually have something like this. So let's say string result is equal to, so you say if your mark it's greater than or equal to 60, because your pass mark is 60, then you know that this is a pass. Or I don't want to say fail, let me just say not pass. Fail sounds very wrong. Not a pass. Let's just go and console right line that, then say result, and let's console read key so our program doesn't close immediately after running. So if I were to write this, I'll actually get the value of results based on the mark that I got. So if I just run this, you can actually see that the output here says, it says pass, because our mark is actually greater than 65, which is 75. But if I were to cancel this and maybe make it something like, let's say your mark was 50, and run this, you can say it says not a pass, because the value for this, it evaluated the C side, or it evaluated the false side of it. It's not always that your result is supposed to be a string. You can actually initialize whatever data type you want. You can actually change this from string, and maybe we can make it like a, let's say a boolean data type. Let's say call this is a pass. So we want to say if your mark is greater or equal to 65, this is a pass. So we're saying this is true. If it's not, then this is false. We do that, then we write our results, which is a pass. So it's the same way. So now if I execute this, instead of the string output, I'm expecting a boolean data type output. So if I get this, I'm expecting the false back. If I just change the mark back to 75 for something that is higher than 60, let's just do 80 this time, you can say it says it's true, because that is a pass. So now I just want to show you guys how to use nested ternary operator. So I'll give you an example. Let's just get rid of this first. Let's say you wrote a test and you're supposed to determine the grade based on the mark that you got. So I have a grading table here that we're going to work with in this example. So let's just split the screen. Let's do this. Or let's just move this mark this side and move our program this side. Let's shift that. Okay. So now what we're supposed to do is, let's say we have something like your int. We still want your mark to test with. Let's make it 40. And now, same as how we had it before, as we want to have a string with results, this is what's going to hold our grade, or we can just call it letter grade. Letter grade. And this is determined by a ternary operator, but in this case we actually want to use a nested ternary operator, because we're not only checking one condition, but we actually want to check if the mark that you got it's between 0 and 59, or is between 60 and 69, or is between 70 and 79, or 80 and 89, or 90 and 100%, and depending on which range it is, you're supposed to get the letter grade for that specific range. So the first thing that you do is you're just going to say, you're going to write your first condition, which is let's go with when your mark it's less than 60. So you can actually say when your mark is greater than 0 and mark is less than 60, or mark is less or equal to 59. But I feel like this is the long way around, because technically we're testing for two conditions, because this is going to evaluate this, and then when it's done it's going to evaluate this, and depending on the Boolean values for those two, it's going to give you the result based on the AND operator. I feel like now I'm explaining how a test condition work, or how an if statement work. I actually have a separate video that explains that concept. I'll put the link to that video in the description box below. But now let's just focus on this. We can actually just make this short, remove that, and just say when mark it's less than 60. So you're going to work this from up until the way to 100%. So the first condition is, we know that when your mark is less than 60, it means that your mark is in the range of 0 and 59. So we just do that and say, if this is true, we actually want to say your letter grade is E. Else, if this is not true, let's test the second condition. So the second condition, we want to test if your mark it's less than 70. So if your mark is less than 70, we actually know that your mark is in the range of 60 to 69, and this will execute only when your mark is greater than 60, but sorry, when your mark is greater than 50 but it's less than 70. Again, I feel like I'm explaining how an if statement or how a condition works. Like I said, I'll put the link to that video in the description box below, or you can click on the pop-up right now on the screen. So this is the second condition that we're testing for letter grade of D. So if your mark is less than 60, then we're saying your letter grade it's D. Else, we're saying if your mark is less than 80, then this is your third test, which is equal to C. Else, when your mark is less than 90, then it means you got letter grade of B. Else, so this is the last condition. So this condition will only happen when all the first conditions are not met. So we just assume at this moment that your mark will be something that is, you can see that we don't have any error handling methods that is happening right now. So we just assume that whatever that you're going to enter, it's going to be between 0 and 100. So we just assume that your mark will never be greater than 100. It's always going to be between 0 and 100. So when all of these conditions are not met, this is the last condition that's going to happen, which is the one where it's going to give you the letter grade of A. So it's when you get a 90, a greater than 90 mark. So we just close that, and then you can console write your letter grade. You can do that, or you can just say, let's do this. We can say your mark is, then there you have your mark. Let's make a new line. Your grade is, then you have your letter grade. So let's just console read key so that our program doesn't close immediately after running. Let's close that. And now if I run this code with a mark of 40, the output that I'm expecting, it's the output of your mark is 40 and your letter grade is D. So let's just test that, because 40 is not D, sorry, E, because 40 is actually less than 50, but it's greater than 0. It's between this first range. So let's just test that. So you can see it says your mark is 40 and your grade is E. So let's just change our mark to something random that it's less than 100. So let's just say 85. So if we are on the 85 mark, it means we are here. We're supposed to get your mark is 85 and your letter grade is B. So let's just run that. So you can see that it works as we intended. Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys how to nest ternary operators, but I don't recommend doing this because at the end of the day, if you have so many conditions to test through, it ends up being so difficult to read. And this is the part where it actually introduces a window to teach you guys about switch case statement, but that's a topic for another video. But that's all for today's video, and if you guys have watched this far, don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and put in the comment section what you would like me to explain for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.